If you have been feeling lost, confused about your identity, about what to do with your life, empty, then keep watching, because in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to find yourself, your authentic self, who you truly are, so you can align with that and start to actually live a life that is for you. Having an idea of who you are, because we are infinite beings, divine beings, and you can never really grasp the true self, like your fullest extent. You can never grasp it because you're inside a human body. But having a good idea of what that is super important for life, because it helps you actually align with the things that are for you. Okay, once you actually know yourself, right, you find yourself, you understand the things that are for you and the things that are not for you. So this all helps obviously in decision making process. It helps you actually look at the opportunities that are for you so you can go and actually pursue them, right? It helps you have the courage to pursue the things that you truly want overall. Because when you know something's aligned for you, you're no longer confused. You just know it's for you and you go for it. So having an identity is what a lot of people, not more of an identity, but having a sense of self, is what a lot of people don't really have. And that's why the world is the way it is. A lot of people have let other people start to control their lives, tell them what to do. They gave their power away. And so they end up living lives that are not aligned with who they are. They end up suffering and living miserable lives that feel empty and unfulfilled for this reason, because it's not really aligned with who they are. So this is why it's so important to know how to find yourself, or how to overall not even find yourself, because you're not lost. And it's not really about finding yourself, but deconstructing the layers of stories that people have told you about who you are, and that you have kept telling yourself about who you are, that doesn't really resonate with the person who is truly who you are at your core. You are forever evolving. So it's not about finding yourself, but about building who you truly want to be coming from your soul. So the first step towards finding your authentic self is to have a list of likes and dislikes. These are two separate lists of the things that you want, you don't want, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, and we're going to put everything we can possibly think about on here. Now, if you have trouble actually coming up with things that you like, then start off with the things that you don't like first, because we as human beings tend to notice the negatives way more than the positive aspects of the things that we want in life. We tend to know exactly what we don't want, right? Do you not like to be spoken at with disrespect? Do you not like disloyalty? Do you not like working a 9-to-5? Whatever it is that you do not like, we want to make a big list. And I would say start off with this one if you really don't know what you do want. Now, once we're done with this big list of dislikes, go and look at your list of wants and start to fill that out using the list of dislikes as almost like a reference, right? If you don't like a partner who, would cheat on you, then obviously you like a loyal partner. So you would want a loyal partner in your life. If you don't like working a 9-to-5, then you obviously don't like, restraints, things like that. So perhaps you want a business. So start to look at your list of dislikes as reference to build the things of what you want in life, and start to look at these things of wants as not only goals, right? Because goals are amazing, yes, we want them here too, but also as character. Like, what does your character, what do you want in your character? Do you want to be empathetic? Do you want to have an open heart? Do you want to have less fear? Do you want to live in creative mode and not survival mode? What do you want in your character, right? How do you want to act, etc.? So this is going to be your big list of wants. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Now, what you're going to do now, looking at these two lists, is ask yourself, what have you been doing from these lists? And you will most likely find yourself doing mostly the things that you don't like. So you're going to target those things, especially if you're the ones that they're the ones that you don't like, and you're going to start to observe when you actually do those things and start to switch the script. Don't do them anymore, right? Switch the script. Start to do the opposite, which you most likely will find in your other list of wants. But the things that you want, that are already on the list and that you're doing, keep doing them. But if you find yourself not doing a lot of the things in this list, start to try to do them each week, right? If you, for example, put, I want to be more empathetic, I want to have more of an open heart, then you're going to start working on that specific thing on that week. So that's how you're going to be using these two lists, so you can start aligning more with what you want and start to leave behind and shed the layers of the things that you don't want. Now, number 2, and this is a very important step, is become the observer. So you are not your thoughts, your body, your emotions, your experiences. You are the awareness experiencing all of those things. That's who you are at your core. You are the person experiencing everything. You're not even a person. You're literally a spirit, a divine being. You are an observer, an awareness. So it's important to start to observe what you do with your life, what you send your energy to throughout your day, right? Usually, what you're doing throughout your day are patterns that are against your inner truth, because right now you feel like you're not aligned. So if you're not aligned, that's because you're acting upon things that are not aligned with your inner truth, and you're doing things overall. You're sending your energy towards emotions, patterns, thoughts, habits that are not aligned with who you truly are. So we want to observe when we're about to do those things. Now, the most important one that we want to observe, and the most important pattern, I would say, is observe areas of your life where you want to do something, yet you don't do it. Because there's some fear, there's some doubt, you fear rejection, whatever it is, start to observe that, right? So for example, whenever you are about to do an activity, right, you felt super excited because you wanted to start drawing, let's say, and then once you get down to drawing, you start getting these thoughts of doubt, like you don't know how to draw, this looks really bad, blah blah blah. Start to acknowledge that, right, to observe that, and switch the script. Those thoughts, that fear, do you know what it really is? It's your inner child. It's your inner child. Your inner child is so afraid of aligning with their inner truth because it was most likely told not to do it when it was a little kid. That's why you are most likely not aligned right now. So whenever you want to align with your inner truth and you find yourself almost like resisting it and becoming fearful of it, the reason why is because your inner child is looking at you, telling you, listen, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. And instead of telling it, yes, you're fine, I'm here to protect you, we're fine, let's do this activity together, what you're doing is like, oh my God, I'm scared too, let's not do this. Because you're the adult now. You're the adult now. And so every single time your inner child has been telling you it's scared, it's doubting itself, etc., instead of, giving into that fear, which obviously makes the child even more scared, instead of doing that, you want to look at it and be like, oh, it's okay to be fearful, but now, I'm an adult and I'm gonna take care of you. Now we're safe. Let's do this together. It's gonna be fun. So this is really important. Like, switch the script when you observe yourself wanting to, do something different, wanting to try something out, which is what your authentic self wants to do. Your authentic self is always expanding. If you see yourself wanting to move, but you don't move towards what you want, let them know. Let your inner child know it's okay, and nurture them. Let them know that it's fine, that you got this, that you're gonna do it anyways. And look, you're gonna see that fear die off. You're gonna see it die off, because now that you have shown your inner child that it's okay, your inner child no longer fears. Now, before step number 3, if you're finding this video very useful, make sure to like it. And if you really want to align with your highest potential, subscribe, because I'm here to teach you all about that. This takes me to number 3, which is parent yourself. When I say parent yourself, I mean that you must recognize the child within you that wants to come out, that wants to do things, but it's scared of doing it because of what you went through in your childhood. So once you start to see yourself as a child, right, as a child who perhaps is scared to do things, you start to see these negative, low vibrational emotions that hold you back as your inner child, almost like letting you know that they feel that way, and perhaps also looking for reassurance that it's okay to do that activity, right? You start to really change the script in your life, because you start looking at these emotions that before held you back now as basically your child coming for reassurance, and now you let them know everything's okay and that you can go and proceed with the activity that you wanted to do. And also nurture yourself. Look at yourself like a child, right? How would you have wanted to be treated when you were a kid? You most likely wanted to be validated, right? Validated, told it's okay to feel this way. anybody would feel this way in your situation and not felt like you were crazy for feeling your emotions, right? You want to nurture yourself, let yourself feel your emotions, process them, and most importantly, acknowledge your emotions, because like I just told you, your inner child, whenever you feel negative emotions or positive ones, that is your inner child. Your emotions come from the first 7 years of your life, because that's when your subconscious mind was created. And so when you acknowledge your emotions as being your inner child, and you overall start to acknowledge them and see like what you're feeling towards what, right? What are you feeling towards these areas in your life? What is making you feel bad? What is making you feel good? You start to get to know yourself better. So nurture yourself, be there for yourself, and most importantly, acknowledge yourself. And if you want to do more inner child healing, shadow work, right? The healing of your child overall, using your emotions, using, this first 7 years of your life to reprogram your subconscious mind, check out this video right here called Shadow Work, right? Everything you need to know about shadow work, about diving into emotional healing, which is super important in this process. Number 4, let your child out. And I know I'm mentioning the inner child so much, but listen, the inner child is the inner creative, is the inner artist, is the one who is spontaneous, curious, excited for life. And this is such a big part of who you are. It's such a huge part of your authentic self. Your inner child almost has the key to, that structure, that foundation that you are looking for right now. So this is why I keep going back to your inner child, and why it's so important to let your inner child out. Because when you let your inner child out, you start to find the beauty in life, even in the smallest things. You start to become curious and to want to experience more. And when you want to experience more, you expand. Because the more you experience, yes, experience is our biggest teacher. The more we experience, the more we try new things out, the more we put ourselves out there, the more we grow. And this is how you really find who you are, right? If you don't try out something, then you will never know if you like it or not. So let your inner child out, come out of your comfort zone more. If you feel like you are in your comfort zone, you're like, I need to work, right? Or I don't really want to do that, I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. That is you being inside your comfort zone. And you need to push yourself towards coming out of it and trying out new things. Because otherwise, all you will ever know is your comfort zone. And I promise you, who you truly are at your core is not in your comfort zone. And you can see that because you're watching this video. So come out of your comfort zone, try out new things, and let your child out. This also means to spend more time with yourself. And I don't mean really distracting yourself, perhaps, yes, watching a movie is cool, but I mean really spending quality time with yourself the way you would with another person. Have conversations with yourself, journal, go out and try out new things, right? Start going out to parks, start going on jogs, start actually spending time with yourself like you were a second person, like you were spending time with your child, right? Literally. So go out and do more activities with yourself at least once a week, so you can get to know yourself more and you can start to build that relationship with yourself, which you need in order to really build that foundation of authenticity, I would say. Right? And this leads me to number 5, which is write. And not just any kind of writing, I mean write 3 pages per day. This is something I learned in the book, The Artist's Way, which has really helped me tap back into my creativity. I absolutely love that book. But when it comes to the 3 pages per day, they're called the morning pages. And what they are is basically you forcing your infinite creativity out into these 3 pages every single morning. It's almost like a mind dump. When you start to dump your thoughts, whatever those thoughts are, let's say you wake up and you're like, I don't know what to write, then you keep writing that for 3 pages. I'm saying you need to write whatever it's in your mind. If you're writing and then you think of rock, like randomly, write down rock, right? You're gonna write that down. It's about tapping into that inflow of infinite thoughts. And so when you tap into that, you start to understand your mind more. And that scattered brain that we usually have a lot, we have that because we don't organize the thoughts in our mind into more of a, into a journal. So when you start to write down, like you wake up, you write down everything that is in your mind every single day, and you write 3 pages, you will eventually tap into some sort of self. And I mean a higher self. something divine, something powerful, spiritual, godly. I've been able to solve so many of really insane problems that I thought were, super hard to solve. I was definitely gonna need some help in that one, but once I was able to write them down, I instantly came up with solutions for them. I also started to come up with really insane, like, creative pieces that I thought I had lost that talent in the past, but the morning pages helped me recover it, right? Because when we have an inflow of creativity, which is that childlike energy, that chaotic energy, that is where all of our ideas come from, the more unique ones as well. But what we usually do is we try to handpick those ideas, and that obstructs that infinite flow of creativity. So what we want to do is, of course, put it down into paper, and on there you will start communicating almost with like a higher version of you, or whatever you want to call it. Perhaps you want to call it God, right? So the morning pages, start to do them. I promise you, this will absolutely change your life. You will realize so much about yourself, because we usually do write down problems when we write, and that is okay. And you will start seeing yourself from like a whole other perspective. You will start actually seeing the divinity in yourself, where you have to go in life, what direction to take, what actions to do, etc. So you should definitely write those 3 pages per day, because it's really going to change your life. And after a month of trying all the steps I told you, do step number 6, which is write down your values. This exercise is super powerful because it's really gonna give you a clear direction of exactly what to do in life, and like what direction to take, and a really clear idea of who you are, so then you can make more aligned decisions. So the step number 1 that we're gonna do with this exercise is list everything you value in life. This may look very similar to your wants list that we spoke about on step number 1. So you're gonna list everything out. And these are the things that you truly value in life. Like, do you value music, integrity, loyalty, art, money, family? What do you value in life? Write a huge list of all the things you can, think about. And then step number 2 is we're going to arrange this list in chronological order, from most important to least important. And once we have this list, we want to look at the first 5 values, and these are your core values. These core values are literally what you must align with every single day in order to feel the most fulfilled and the most aligned with who you truly are. Now, if you find yourself having a bit of a hiccup aligning with these things, let's say your first one was financial freedom and you don't have a job, or you're, obviously not financially free, start to do a business, right? Start to actually do one thing every single day that aligns you towards financial freedom. So let's say if you are working a 9-to-5, you're super busy, then spend 30 minutes a day researching on business ideas and then actually taking action on them. 30 minutes per day, you will start to align with that financial freedom value, and that alone will fulfill you in a time of physically not being very aligned, right? Even the people with the most busy schedules can align with their 5 values always. It's really all about finding time and giving priority to that as well, because you need to understand you are your biggest asset, you are your biggest priority. And if you're not aligning with who you truly are because you're giving into distractions, because that's what they are. Even if it's your job, it's still a distraction, right? You don't want that job. You're only having it because you want stability. That's a distraction, right? If you are only giving all of your energy towards that, and you're not giving at least some energy to your 5 values, then you're going to start feeling empty, right? Miserable, right? Lost, because you're giving your energy into a black hole, basically, instead of giving it into something that actually fulfills you and give that energy back to yourself. So remember, if you write 1 page of a book per day, you'll have a finished book by the end of the year. So start to approach these values with that mindset. After implementing all of these steps into your life, you're going to see the absolute transformation that you go under, because you right now are in a cocoon period, which you don't know exactly who you are, but you want more, you're meant for more. And these steps are gonna help you unlock exactly that which you're looking for. And so I'm telling you, you also should do this throughout your life, because at times, even those who are really sure of themselves, sometimes we fall off the wagon, and that's okay. These steps will bring you right back in track with your path. Because these steps are something that has helped me and my clients as well come out from dark nights of the soul, come out from really dark times where people usually feel lost, and a lot of them don't even come out of that because they don't have the knowledge on how to do it. Now that you do, you know you have this information and you can apply it, and you will keep applying it throughout your life. It's something that really does pull you back into alignment, right? And you're always growing, you're always transforming. So don't ever forget that there's never a set self, right? Your self is always expanding, but as long as you're always in tune with that expansion and with that, that idea of like what direction you want to expand to, you're set. If you're really looking to align with your highest potential through your own divinity, your own ability to create realities, to create a life aligned with who you are, with your soul, and really tap into that supernatural power you have as a divine being, check out my Higher Beings Academy below, where I guide you towards ascension of your spirits through healing, metaphysics, and the overall power of your awareness. Now comment below, what do you feel has been your biggest challenge in finding yourself? If you find this video helpful, make sure to like and save it for later. And to align with your highest spiritual potential, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.